This is Two Grown-Ups and a Mouse, episode number 18. In today's episode, we will be talking about holiday experiences at the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida.
Everything Disney in and out of the house. Two grown-ups and a mouse.
Hi there, I'm AJ.
I'm Andrew.
And you are listening to Two Grown-Ups and a Mouse. Welcome.
Welcome.
Hi there.
Aloha.
I was going to say that.
Ha ha.
You beat me to it.
Yep.
We must be clairvoyant. We must be in sync. But we're not a band. Because I know that you were just thinking, I could see it in your face. You were thinking that. You were like, ugh, but I beat you to it. Aha! AJ throws her hands up in victory.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's a band named NSYNC.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for joining us. Apparently you found us, so we're glad to have you. And if you aren't doing so already, please remember to subscribe. Remember to follow us. You can listen to us on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or any of the other podcast systems out there. Or you could just go to our website, Two Grown-Ups and a Mouse.
.com.
Or you can follow us on social media.
Two Grown-Ups and a Mouse.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can listen to us on YouTube.
Yep.
So I am excited. Do you know why?
You said NSYNC and all those teenage flashbacks came back?
No,
Oh.
that's not why I'm excited. I'm excited because we're basically in the holiday season.
Right.
And I'm Jewish, as I've said before, and Hanukkah is really early this year. Aren't you lucky?
You already got your gift.
Well, I picked out my gift, but I haven't received my gift because I want to actually get a gift on the first night of Hanukkah,
Right.
which is December 2nd this year. So it is pretty early, but it's not bad because this year, Thanksgiving is the earliest that it can be. It's November 22nd.
Right.
That's the earliest that it's the fourth Thursday in November. So that's the earliest that it could be would be the 22nd.
Right.
So it's an earlier Thanksgiving this year. So from the time, holiday shopping really starts, Black Friday is traditionally the start of the holiday shopping season. So at least you have, well over a week
Sure.
before Hanukkah starts. Or of course, if you celebrate Christmas, you have a good month
Yep.
this year. So that is kind of nice. But I like going Black Friday shopping. And I will be going Black Friday shopping.
Of course.
I might even go Thanksgiving Day shopping.
Well, we have been doing that lately.
Yeah, just to check it out, see how bad it is. But that's almost solely Best Buy.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah, you get your little fix in. Let's go to Best Buy. And then we look at the line and we go, we don't really need anything here.
Well, the first time they had it open on a Thursday, or the first couple of times they had it open on a Thursday, it wasn't that busy. So, but like last year, it was very busy. So it was like, well, we don't really need anything because we're just not even though you go Black Friday shopping, we don't really, there's not a lot of things we're actually specifically shopping for. So
No, I go shopping to see what kind of specials they might have. And if they have anything exciting, then I buy it. But it's not like we need anything.
Right.
So, but it's still fun to go shopping because, it's shopping.
Sure.
Shopping is shopping. But we'll talk about shopping in a little bit. So in today's episode, we are going to talk about holiday experiences at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida.
Yep.
And there are a lot of them.
Quite a few.
Yeah. Well, it's nice because whether you're going to one of the parks or you're going to Disney Springs or you're just going to the resorts, you're staying on property, whatever your itinerary is, there is something holiday related happening at any one of those locations.
Right. Yeah. It's everywhere.
Well, I didn't look it up. I don't know that Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach really do anything holiday.
I do not know.
But they probably have decoration.
I would imagine they do some, at least the basics.
Right. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Right.
But we'll kind of go park by park, Disney Springs and the resorts. We'll kind of talk a little bit about each.
Sure.
And there's some things that, we'll talk a little bit more on, and some will just kind of glaze over just to give people an idea of what they can expect if they go to Walt Disney World during the holidays.
Right.
And
well, we could fill up the next 8 episodes of holiday information about around Walt Disney World, and that's not.
And we've said before, we have been to Disneyland. However, we don't go there anywhere near as often. But if you hear something that sounds like fun and you're on the West Coast, you may find something similar at Disneyland. Maybe not exactly the same, but they probably do have a lot of similar events.
Right.
So just because we can, we'll start with Hollywood Studios.
Sure.
And as everyone knows, it was June 30th, Toy Story Land opened, I believe. So Toy Story Land has some holiday decor out. And that was one of the things that made me think of Disneyland, because I know Disneyland, their Cars Land gets decorated for the holidays.
Right.
So I'm excited for our next trip, which will probably be in the first half of December. We don't want to go too close to Christmas because it tends to get busier as you get closer to the Christmas holiday and New Year's holiday.
Right.
In fact, that's why if you have any blackout dates, you're basically going to be blacked out from Christmas Eve until just after New Year's.
I haven't looked to see when the dates are, but yeah, it's that whole stretch. It's usually a little bit before, and then all the way out to New Year's, or the weekend, first weekend after.
Right. So, so it's not just the blackout dates, but just it gets busier then.
Sure.
So we'll go, the first half of December, one of those weekends we'll end up going over there. And then we can definitely check out Toy Story Land, because I know I read there was 10-foot tall ham gingerbread.
Sure.
But I don't think it's made out of gingerbread. It didn't say that it was made out of gingerbread.
Well, it says it's, I'm looking at the press release from Disney, and it says a 10-foot tall ham sugar cookie at Woody's Lunchbox. I don't think it's probably not a real sugar cookie, because there are ants in Florida.
Yeah.
If it were made out of sugar, it would be gone.
Very quickly. But they also have Sunset Greetings on Sunset Boulevard at the Hollywood Tower Hotel, which is also known as the Tower of Terror. They're going to have some snow and Disney characters sharing stories. And this year they added laser effects to that. We've been going to Disney for 15 years together, and I don't remember ever seeing that. We never really looked for it, but...
Well, we should preface that by saying... Anytime we went to Hollywood Studios, we always went to see Osborne, because everything else pales in comparison to Osborne, which is...
What, Ozzy Osbourne?
Exactly.
For anyone that doesn't know, he's talking about the Osborne Family Spectacle of Lights that ended 2 years ago, wasn't it? Or two seasons ago.
Yeah.
They didn't have it last season, but they had it the season before was the last one.
Right, I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Right. So, yeah, we would go straight into Hollywood Studios and go...
Yeah, pick a spot and wait until the lights turned on.
So yeah, that would explain why we never really went to that. Unless, that could have started last year.
That's true.
Which is the other possibility. And we wouldn't have gone out of our way to go to Hollywood Studios.
Right, without the lights.
Without the Osborne lights. But what they also have returning is Jingle Ball Jingle Bam, which is with the Disney Prep and Landing characters.
Right.
And that is basically their light show. I don't know if there's fireworks in that.
No, there's fireworks.
But we did the dessert party, the Jingle Ball Jingle Bam dessert party a couple of years ago, and that was a lot of fun. But you can enjoy the show without doing the dessert party.
Sure.
You don't have to do the dessert party. So those are a couple things at Hollywood Studios.
Well, the dessert party also gives you preferred, they rope off a preferred area.
Right.
So you'll fully see everything. Although, honestly, in Hollywood Studios, there's so many places to actually see everything that it's not really that important to go to do the dessert party. You should do it because the desserts are good. There is alcohol. There's soda, ice cream.
I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just giving everyone a heads up. I would recommend doing any of the dessert parties. They're great.
Yep.
But you really need to prepare in advance because they do book quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think we're going in the beginning of next year. We were able to get a reservation with our friends. But it's not always easy. I mean, sometimes you get lucky and you
Right.
call up and there was a cancellation or whatever. But my point is the earlier you can book a dessert party, be it the Jingle Ball, Jingle Bam dessert party or the Happily Ever After at Magic Kingdom, whatever dessert party it is, it doesn't matter which one it is. Dessert parties have gotten really popular because they typically do give you a good viewing area for whatever show it is or fireworks or whatever. So
Right.
because of that, they become really popular.
Oh yeah.
So you do want to book that as far in advance as possible.
Oh, they usually sell out. That's one of those things that there's usually more cancellations over the course of the months in between, and then also sometimes you just walk up and you get lucky, but
Right. And that's the
don't
other
count
thing.
on it.
Yeah, you can call every day because you never know. Someone
Right.
might cancel and you might get lucky.
But the only other thing is the Jingle Ball Jingle Bam is their fireworks and light show. It's just the holiday version of it, similar to how Epcot has a holiday fireworks, or they add on, which we'll talk about a little bit,
Yeah,
and then like Magic Kingdom,
No, but Hollywood Studios, it's not the holiday version because it's totally different than their regular version, which is Star Wars.
right. Well, it's mostly the same thing, except they're projecting a little different. I think Hollywood Studios was the first of this, next generation of evening show where it's lots of lasers, lots of projection,
Right.
and fireworks.
Right. It's not just fireworks
Right.
anymore. But let's talk about Epcot.
Sure.
Because Epcot has the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays, which includes 12 specialty kitchens set around World Showcase.
Right.
And what I saw is new this year, I believe they said it was new this year, is L'chaim, featuring traditional Hebrew dishes such as pastrami on rye, chicken and matzo ball soup, egg cream, and more. I can live without the egg cream. Honestly, I can live without the pastrami because it's kind of fatty. But I'm really excited to see what they've done over there. And I'm excited to see the other specialty kitchens because that's another thing. We've been going and they've been doing the Festival of the Holidays for a few years now. And we never really
It's always
looked at it.
It's always expanded. It's always just a little more each year, and now it's becoming something that's relatively. Well, I wouldn't even say it's big yet. It's not like a dedicated festival, but it's just something they keep adding to.
I was just going to say it's funny because we've mentioned the Festival of the Arts, which starts in January, and we said that's kind of like the gap between the Food and Wine Festival and the Flower and Garden Festival.
Right.
But now it's like, oh, wait a second. It's Food and Wine, then Festival of the Holidays, then Festival of the Arts,
Right.
and then Flower and Garden. So they are kind of trying to just have it not nonstop, but this way it gives you a reason to go to Epcot.
Well, I mean, there's always lots of reasons.
Oh
but
yeah, there's lots. But you and I know there's lots of reasons, but a lot of people don't realize how much there is to do.
Sure.
Or they get these preconceived notions in their head, like, oh, people just go and drink around the world.
Right. And then, I mean, Epcot's always had something for holidays. Like you could stop in each country and there'll be a special place talking about their, the culture around the holidays. They started doing little treats, but it was very, very minor. It's now starting to sound like there's going to be more and more.
Right.
Even to the point where of like having like a dedicated kiosk of get holidays, treats for this country kind of thing.
Right.
So,
Well, and I know you're going to look forward to this one, the holiday cookie stroll, where you can purchase cookies and you collect stamps. And once you get 5 or more stamps, you get a complimentary, I use air quotes for that one, complimentary completer cookie and a cold glass of milk.
well,
And I put that in air quotes because, you have to buy 5 cookies. So it's really more like a free with purchase.
right.
But either way, that sounded like a lot of fun to try the different types of cookies.
Sure.
And something that's really, really popular, and we've done it a few times, is the candlelight processional.
Right.
I think,
We've done it twice with D23.
right.
So and then a couple of years ago, we did it as some friends of ours, their daughter was in the choir.
Right, exactly. And I mean, everyone should do it at least once. And as I've said before, I'm Jewish.
Right.
And this is the nativity. It's a story
Yeah.
of, why Christmas is Christmas. But they do, at the beginning, they throw in a few Hanukkah songs, a few other,
Well,
before the story starts.
They try to make it a little generic, but
right.
even the The story part itself is kind of okay. It's the story, but the music is good. I mean, it's always nice to hear a good choir.
Right. And they have a celebrity narrator.
Sure.
And it's not the same person all season long. I mean, a lot of people will specifically go to a specific candlelight processional because they want to see Neil Patrick Harris or Whoopi Goldberg Whoopi goes pretty much every year. I don't know if Neil Patrick is going this year or not, but I know he's been multiple times.
Right.
So don't listen to who I'm saying and be like, oh, they're going to be there. Like, please look it up to get.
You can find it. And honestly, you should be, if you're specifically looking for somebody, don't be too upset because a lot of times there's a lot of cancellations, both with any of the celebrity things.
Rescheduling. Sometimes they don't necessarily cancel, but something happens and they have to reschedule and
or shuffle it around a little bit. Right.
But like I said, I mean, that's definitely something, if you haven't done it, you should try it at least once. And some people go every year.
Right.
For us, it's like, we're the type of people in general, been there, done that. We do something once, we don't have to do it over and over again.
Well, especially that, because it literally never changes. I mean, it's the same. It's the same story each time. It's so
right.
We've seen it 3 times, and so that's right. It hasn't changed.
But
there is one helpful hint, though. If you're going to go see Candlelight, or honestly, if you're going to see Eat to the Beat concerts or whatever else, look into doing the dining and concert packages that are around.
Right.
Because we did that the very last time. We sat down, we ate at Japan, and then we got preferred seating, and literally right up front on the stage.
Right.
And so if you're going to go out to eat it, if you're going to eat at one of the nicer restaurants, anyways, it's a done deal. It's a no brainer. So. Right. And it's almost all of the sit down restaurants.
Well, many of the sit-down restaurants, you can call 407 WDW Dine. Isn't it sad I have that memorized? Well, but I like the numbers the phone numbers they use because they do try and make them easy to remember. So for dining reservations, it's 407, their area code WDW Dine. So you can call that number and you can find out what restaurants you can eat at, what the availability is. And yes, that's a great way to see it. Right. But the last thing that I want to talk about at Epcot, not necessarily the last holiday thing to do at Epcot, but the last thing we're going to talk about at Epcot is something that if you want to do it, you're going to have to do it this year because it's going bye-bye. They're doing a special holiday finale of Illuminations Reflections of Earth.
Right.
And the dates for that, it's going to start November 18th and it will run through December 30th.
Right.
And as we've spoken about before, Illuminations is leaving after summer of 2019, I believe is when... They didn't give
end of summer, yeah.
Right. I don't think they gave a specific date yet. They just said summer 2019. So this is going to be the last holiday season of Reflections of Earth. So again, that's the special holiday finale from November 18th through the 30th.
Sure.
So the next park to talk about is Magic Kingdom.
Right.
Which is very popular. But when I was looking up what to do for holidays at Magic Kingdom, the biggest thing, it was like they had all these events you could do, and all of them were part of the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Right.
It was like, oh, they have these singers, and oh, they have this, and oh, they have that, but they were all part of the Christmas party, which is great. I mean, if you can do the Christmas party, it's a special separate ticketed event, and we've done that before a couple of times, and we enjoy it every time. But what's nice is once Halloween ends, which, Halloween's over already, so Halloween ends, it's like, boom, they just put up the holiday decorations.
Right.
So even if there aren't too many holiday activities inside of Magic Kingdom, it is still beautifully decorated for the holidays. So that in and of itself makes it worthwhile to go to Magic Kingdom for the holidays. So they do have that. And they also have a Frozen Holiday Wish, the show on the castle.
Right.
So that's also a lot of fun.
And that one is not necessarily during Mickey's Nuts or
during the
Very Merry Christmas Party.
I do the same thing.
Because the Very Merry Christmas Party happens on select days.
Right.
So 3 or 4 nights out of the week. So the other nights it's just normal. It's still holiday fireworks. I was going to say holiday wishes, but it's not holiday wishes anymore. It's holiday fireworks, and then the castle show.
Right.
And the castle show is a kind of a big thing. If you haven't been in a while, it's, before it used to be, that's another one of those things that has grown quite a bit, because it used to be almost nothing at the castle. It was just fireworks. And now there's a whole 15 or 20 minute show on the castle before the fireworks.
Right.
So.
Right. And that brings us to Animal Kingdom, where I saw they have something called where they teach you about Diwali, and I apologize if I'm totally mispronouncing that word, but hopefully I'm not. So celebrate Diwali, India's annual festival of lights, and you can do that at Up a Great Bird Adventure.
Right.
So Russell and Doug help teach you about that festival of lights that happens in India. So that's really nice that they incorporate another culture and another holiday event in there. Something I didn't write down on our notes, but it's something else you could do around the holidays, and we did this one year, is Starbucks has their little mug ornaments for the holiday season.
Right.
They pretty much year round carry the You Are Here mugs.
Yep.
But the ornaments, they generally only have around the holidays unless they have any leftovers. So one year you and I drove up to the parks for the sole purpose of going in and out of each park to go to Starbucks and buy the little mini ornament mugs.
Right.
So, but that's another fun holiday thing you can do. You can collect pressed pennies, you can collect Your Here mugs, you can, there's all different kinds of things. But that's the 4 parks. And again, we certainly didn't cover everything you can do inside of the parks, but it gives you a good idea of different things that you can do when you're making your plans and trying to decide which park you want to go to.
Right.
But there's a lot to do outside of the parks.
Yep.
And one of our favorite places to go, which I believe we said before, is Disney Springs.
Right.
And Disney Springs really has a lot of holiday happenings.
Oh, yeah.
So they just finished, or completely finished, I should say, the World of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't really talk about it too much. Maybe we did, but I really like the remodel. I know some people aren't as crazy about it.
Well, it looks, it's much more open now.
Yeah, that would be the same word I would use.
Instead of, because before it was divided up into little rooms, so it feels a lot more open and inviting. And honestly, it almost looks like there's less stuff in it, but I think that's just an optical illusion because it's now so big.
Right. It's the same size store, but
Right.
they actually probably gained space by taking a couple of the walls down.
Right.
That separated, as you said, it was kind of like rooms. And they still have it in sections.
Oh, yeah.
But there aren't so many walls separating it. So it's nice because you can be a little bit further from someone but still see them.
Sure.
Because the displays are, 5 feet or less,
Right.
pretty much. So you can see over the displays and you can see from one section to another section.
Right.
So it's a little easier to navigate in there. But of course, World of Disney is the largest Disney store on property.
Yep.
Or Disney merchandise store. I don't want to misspeak. And that's a great place to buy holiday merchandise.
Sure.
And of course, they have the, what's it called? Days of Christmas, their Christmas store. At Disney Springs,
Right.
Which you can buy Christmas stuff year round,
Right.
Because they know that some people only go over the summer and they don't have a chance to go during the holidays, and they want to get their holiday ornaments.
Well, and all the parks have, I think all the parks
Well,
have.
I can picture the one at Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom has it. Hollywood Studios has it.
Right, I can picture that one. That's over by Rizzo's.
Right. Epcot quasi has it because there's some holiday stuff in Germany.
Oh, right. Yeah, they always have the pickle tree and the ornaments in Germany.
I just can't think of one that would be in Epcot. I'm sure there is. Or not Epcot.
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. I'm sure there is one, or one of the stores might have a section, but
Right. 'Cause like we said, it's, they know that not everyone can go
Right.
all the time. So they do want to make sure that, if your thing is collecting ornaments,
sure.
then you have a place you can go get the ornaments at. So World of Disney and the Christmas store both have a lot. But what I'm looking forward to is Black Friday shopping.
Yep.
And if you do a search online, you can look up Disney Springs Black Friday and make sure you put in Black Friday 2018. And you can see the specials. It's on the Disney website. And there are quite a few apparel and specialty shops that are offering discounts on Black Friday. You know, like 10, 15, and 20% off is the bulk of the discounts.
Right. And I'm sure a lot of them all have their will have various sales as well running.
Right.
Because a lot of those stores are just, you know, normal national chain brands. You know, there's a Coach store, there's a Under Armour store, there's a Unique Glow store, there's a I said Coach.
Right.
There's a UGG store. There's
I went Black Friday shopping with a friend last year at Disney Springs, and we went to Kate Spade, which it was either 30 or 40% off that day.
Sure.
But I want to say it was 30% off. Not that it matters, because that was last year and it could be different this year. But the point is, they did have a special, you know, Black Friday sale. And yes, I'm sure that was at every Kate Spade store in the country, not just at Disney Springs.
Right.
So there are a lot of stores offering discounts, but there's also some dining discounts on Black Friday. You know, I noticed there's $10 mojitos at Bongo's restaurant all day long. And more important for me, Joffrey's is offering 20% off all day long.
Sure.
So it's really nice that they are offering some special discounts for Black Friday. Now, I haven't heard this year something they did last year where they took old costumes, uniforms from Tower of Terror, Haunted Mansion, and I want to say there was another attraction, and they took those, you know, you can call it a costume, you can call it a uniform, and they made them into purses and makeup bags.
Yep.
And like I said, we went to Disney Springs to go shopping last year. We got there nice and early. The line for that was so ridiculous that I didn't bother because it wasn't that important to me. But I haven't read anything yet about anything like that being offered again this year. Now, that being said, last year they didn't advertise Black Friday happenings until about a week or two before.
Sure.
So anything is possible that, you know, as we get even closer, they might all of a sudden announce something.
Right.
The same way they come out with new Disney Doonies. You know, sometimes we don't really have advance notice on them. They just announce them and they're released the next day. So anything is possible. But after I get back from Black Friday shopping, we'll do another episode where I can kind of recap what I saw, anything different this year, you know, new or different. But they do have the Christmas tree trail, and that has 27 unique holiday trees. And this year they added Toy Story, Haunted Mansion, Vintage Mickey and Minnie, and Star Wars.
Yep.
So I'm definitely going to have to do that. You and I will have to go to Disney Springs in our December trip so we can go check that out.
Right. Yeah, they describe it as guests will enjoy a walk through Wonderland of Christmas trees decorated with Disney imagery and characters. And the trail features those 27 unique holiday trees.
Right.
And then I don't think we've ever done that in the past.
No. I mean, we saw it and we meant to do it, but we just never did. So this year we're going to make a more concerted effort to experience that. But you can also, at Disney Springs, meet Santa. He's going to be there November 8th through December 24th.
Right.
And that's always nice that they have that available. And the last thing I noticed, which they did last year as well, is Stitch's Holiday Gift Hunt. And they describe it as Stitch has lost items around Disney Springs and will need guests' help finding them. Those who complete this festive seasonal scavenger hunt will earn a fun surprise. And you can do that November 8th through January 6th. Right. Now, here's the funny thing. Last year, we were at Disney Springs. I don't know if it was after the event or not. And a lot of the cast members had the holiday gift hunt buttons. And they were like, oh, do you want a button?
Sure.
So I have one in front of me right now, and it says Disney Springs 2017 Holiday Gift Hunt, or Stitch's Holiday Gift Hunt with the picture of Stitch at the top of the button.
Right.
So basically, I mean, that's the same name for this year. Only, like I said, I don't remember ever being told about it. You know, it was just the button. They were like, here, have a button.
Right.
Okay. But here I found the information where it says to participate, pick up a pocket-sized holiday gift hunt booklet containing a map, clues, and stickers at one of the following locations. And then they name various locations such as Amorette's, the Christmas Tree Trail, the Ganachery, Mac Cosmetics, and there's quite a few others that you can pick this little booklet up at.
Right.
So that's another thing that I would love to participate in, because it sounds similar to Remy's Hide and Squeak. You know, the different
Well,
activities.
this almost doesn't sound like a paid thing.
Yeah, and who knows, the button might be the little
Right.
fun surprise you get at the end. Could just be a button, or it
Sure.
could be a sticker. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to find out.
Sure.
So, and the last places we want to talk about that have holiday gatherings are the resorts.
Right.
And we talked about this, I believe, just in our last episode. We did say something about each resort has their own tree.
Yep.
You know, they do have their own decoration. And of course, the Grand Floridian does have the gingerbread house, and the Boardwalk has the chocolate carousel.
Well, the beach club has the carousel.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The yacht club has they put up a mini. I don't know. It's like a miniature Wonderland kind of thing with a little trolley car running around a train set. And then the one thing that is kind of neat with yacht and beach is there's a roving choir that runs around at times, and if you're lucky, they'll just set up on a staircase somewhere and start singing.
Right.
And then what was at Boardwalk? There is something special at Boardwalk too, I believe.
Dun, dun, dun. I don't remember.
Just don't remember.
I don't remember, but it is. In fact, one year we went up there with some people I met from Instagram, and we went resort hopping to go look at the different decorations. And we did more than just what was on the monorail, which you can still do that. But again, just be prepared because of the new system of bag checks. They now check you prior to getting on the monorail, because they don't know, oh, you gone on and you had your bag checked already. You know, you're going from resort to resort. So you will need to have your bag checked at every time you get off and want to get back on the monorail. You're going to have to go through the bag check again.
Right.
Not a big deal, just something to be prepared for, especially, you know, depending on any time constraints you might have. But
Right. Well, here's what Disney says. At Contemporary, there's an 18-foot tall recreation of Cinderella Castle.
which last year, or no, I don't remember what it was last year. But for the past few years, it's been Frozen.
Yeah, it was Frozen themed.
Was it still Frozen last year?
Yeah, I believe so last year too.
Oh.
So this one is just the Cinderella Castle, made with thousands of gingerbread blocks, rolled fondant and modeling chocolate. Gingerbread house at the Grand Floridian. This is its 20th year. The one interesting on both of those, you can actually buy. They set up a shop either in the gingerbread house or just outside of it at the Contemporary, and you can buy gingerbread that's similar to what this made the decoration. And it's very good. It's not the same as the generic gingerbread you'll find in the parks and the hotel gift shops and all that. So just as a side note. Disney Yacht Club will feature a miniature holiday village, complete with miniature train. That was the one I was speaking of before. Disney's Beach Club is home to a life-size and edible spinning carousel. And those with horses themed to Donald Duck, Daisy Duck, and classic Christmas themes. So that's the chocolate one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of it's just holiday decor. As we said, each of the resorts gets their own. They get a tree. They're all different. It's definitely, it's one of the. It's a good. If I'm not going to the park, what can I do? That's as you said. This is another good thing to do. Even beyond, obviously, catch the monorail resorts first. Catch the ones at the boardwalk. Yacht Club, Beach Club, circle them all, and then it. And if you have time after that, and you have a car or easy transportation, go to the other resorts.
I didn't put this on the notes, but the Fort Wilderness.
Right.
A lot of people that stay at Fort Wilderness decorate for the holidays.
At the Fort Wilderness campground.
Right. So if you have a chance to go explore that,
right,
that would be a lot of fun to go see the different decorations.
Sure. And that's hit or miss because it's obviously not Disney. That's just the people staying at the campgrounds. But
I think it's more hit than miss though, because I think a lot of people really look, especially
a lot
closer to the holiday.
Right. A lot of people do it because a lot of people that go there and stay around the holidays know it. And, this isn't their first rodeo, as they say. And I believe the resort actually encourages it as well.
Right.
Not kind of the wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Please do something, please.
Right. And, I didn't get a lot of information off this, but it does say that there are special entertainment and dining options. So again, I already said you can call 407-WDW-DINE.
Right.
Or of course you can go to the WaltDisneyWorld.com.
Oh, yeah. There's a ton of information on the holiday stuff.
Yeah, look up, special dining or whatever. They'll definitely be able to point you in the right direction on what's available and what you might want to try out.
And the final thing on the dining is that they will offer... They do a special Christmas dinner. They do Thanksgiving dinners. They'll do a special New Year's Eve. That'll be separate from like the restaurant stuff. They'll usually open up something in a banquet hall or something, that kind of thing. For the people that absolutely have to have a traditional whatever dinner.
Right.
Whether it's Thanksgiving or New Year's or Christmas Eve or yada, yada, yada.
So we're keep on talking about dinner and gingerbread, and all those things are making me hungry. So
I agree.
I think we should wrap it up. So if you haven't done so already, please remember to subscribe.
Absolutely.
To follow us on Two Grown-Ups and a Mouse. Then social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just look us up, Two Grown-Ups and a Mouse.
Yep.
You can always go to our website, twogrownupsandamouse.com. Or you can follow us however you're listening to us now, possibly on one of those podcast systems, such as Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes. Any one of them.
Right.
So on that note, since I am hungry, I'm going to say good night.
Or good morning.
Oh, yeah. It is morning somewhere.
Or good afternoon.
Or I could just say goodbye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.